To all who listen to this happy pod, welcome. My name is Noah Parker, and this is my world of wonder, and I'm joined today by my mom, Lynn.
Hi, today we're going to be talking about the Lightning Lane Multipass. We're going to that went into effect today, which is July 24th. And then we're also going to talk briefly about 2 new babies that are at Animal Kingdom, and then also our top 5 things to do at Walt Disney World.
Indeed. You know, Mom is I learned this listening to, I don't even know if you listen to any other Disney podcasts, but if you don't, you should check out a couple. The main one that I listen to is the Diz Unlimited Disney show. It's just the Diz Unlimited. I'll send you a link. But they do Walt Disney World, and then they also had like a roundtable discussion about Walt Disney World. They also do like a Universal show, and they also have a show on there called Connecting with Walt, which I think you would like a lot.
Oh, cool.
But anyway, I don't even remember where I was going with that.
Is it why we're doing this format today?
No, It's not. They said something. Oh my gosh, I just had it and it's gone now. What did you say 10 seconds ago?
That we're going to be talking about the Lightning Lane Multipass, the 2 new babies born at Animal Kingdom, and our top 5 things to do at Walt Disney World.
You said something after that, didn't you?
I would have to rewind to figure that out.
Yeah, me too. Oh man, I totally lost my train of thought. That's so annoying. It was literally right there.
Well, that's okay.
They do a thing. It was a thing that they do, or they said something, and whatever. It doesn't even matter now. It's too far gone. I'll figure it out. But yeah. So before we get into all that, I almost had it. It was literally popping into my head, but. We'll take this time to invite you guys to go follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, where you can find all the shorts that Adriana puts together. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel by going to youtube.com/Noah Parker_channel, where we will hopefully soon have a video coming out. I know exactly where I was going with it now. So they just lost their main producer, their lead producer, Craig Robbins. Oh, Craig, whatever his last name is. I literally had it. It's gone now. It's fine. It doesn't matter. But he just went to go take a job working with Disney instead of the Diz Unlimited, which is like I won't talk about what they do because we have Tracy.
Yes.
But yes. And they hired a new person named Chloe, and her job title is park correspondent. And so that made me think that's what you are for our podcast. You are the park correspondent.
Oh, I
until
love
I can
that.
get my rear end down there. But yes,
I
so
will hold
that
down the
was what I was
fort
trying to
until
say.
you get here.
Anyway, if that wasn't dying grass, I don't know what is.
I don't either. It just occurred to me I don't actually need my glasses because there's no show notes.
Yeah, somebody didn't write show notes. Somebody has had a heck of a week, and you know. This the only part of this show that is not improv, aside from this the intro, which is like always the same pretty much, so that one's pretty scripted, but aside from the content, like it's not really scripted, but like we generally have guidelines that I like to follow, but today the only thing that we even have a little bit of guideline on is the Lightning Lane Multipass, which we can start talking about right now. Everything else is improv.
Yeah.
So I learned a couple things just today. I hope you guys listening, again, I don't know if I said this already, but probably not. You guys are listening to this on Friday, the 26th.
Yes.
And we are currently recording on July 27th, Wednesday. So today is the first day
24th.
for Lightning Lane Multi. What did I say?
27th.
I got a lot of stuff going on this week. It's really hard to keep days straight, but
The 27th is your niece and my granddaughter's 6th birthday. Happy birthday, Lexi.
Yes. Happy birthday, Lexi. And it's also Car Cruise in Longmont. If you guys are out there this morning and you're in Longmont listening, head over to the Dairy Queen down on North Main, up on North Main rather. We'll have a bandolero there. It's going to be pretty cool. I'll be there hosting the booth and low-key kind of trying to network the podcast a little bit. Get some podcast has nothing to do with the Car Cruise, but, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Anyway, wow. Wow, tangents. So today is the 24th. Today was the first day for the new Lightning Lane Multipass. And last week when Adriana and I were briefly talking about it, I mentioned that the release from Disney made it sound like you could purchase your Lightning Lane Multipass a decent distance in advance, right? But you were able to book 7 days in advance is the way it read to me. I don't have it pulled up anymore. Otherwise I would read off again what I saw. That is incorrect. It is what we initially thought when we first started talking about it 4 weeks ago now, about a month ago when me and you started talking about it, I think.
Yeah.
Where you can purchase 7 days out from your first day in the parks.
Correct.
So a week before mine and Adriana's trip in September, we'll be able to buy our Lightning Lane Multipass.
Right.
But we can buy it for the entire duration of our stay.
I want to tell you where I got confused. So hopefully you can clear this up because maybe
I've
some
been
of
following
our
all years a little bit. So
right. So maybe some of our viewers and listeners have the same kinds of questions. Because what I was looking at today, it like said Magic Kingdom was like $29, and then Hollywood Studios and Epcot have their prices. I can't remember what those are, and Animal Kingdom was $18. So how does that work? Like if you're gonna park hop, let's say you're gonna park hop to two different parks, do you have to buy the $29 Magic Kingdom Lightning Lane Multipass and the Animal Kingdom? Like if you're going to go to those two parks, you have to purchase both of those for the same day? So it would be like $47 to park hop or to do the Lightning Lane Multipass?
The short answer to that question is no. I do have the answer to this, and it is because I follow All Ears Net on Instagram. If you don't follow All Ears on Instagram, follow them. They are currently, it won't matter now because they probably will have a mainline YouTube video out that you guys can watch explaining it all. But right this minute, they are in the parks testing it, messing with it, trying to see how to get it to break, how to best utilize it, all that good stuff. And I just watched some of those videos before I came down here, so I do have an answer for that question.
Okay.
And the answer for that question is, well, like with Genie Plus, you were able to purchase all the parks, right? You could pick multi-park, and you pay the highest price. Mm-hmm. The way that Lightning Lane Multipass works, multi-park is not an option, but that doesn't mean it's not an option to purchase, but that doesn't mean you can't use it if you're park hopping. So the way it works is when you initially purchase, you're basically picking your first park when you buy when you buy multi-pass. So if you're starting your day in Animal Kingdom, like one of our days we'll start it in Animal Kingdom, and it will probably be the lowest priced one. But that just means you can book your first 3, because we talked about that before. You can book your first 3 Lightning Lanes when you purchase. You can only purchase those. You can only schedule those 3 Lightning Lanes in Animal Kingdom for the advanced one.
Okay.
Once you're in Animal Kingdom and you have scanned into your first checkpoint or scanned in your first Lightning Lane, you can then go back into the app and you can get a Lightning Lane for any park you want. Okay. So technically speaking, it could be a way to save money, right? Because you could just buy the Animal Kingdom one. But the issue is you have to go to Animal Kingdom. You have to use that first Lightning Lane for Animal Kingdom before you can use it anywhere else.
Okay.
Or I guess you could let it expire, but at that point, like, why aren't you just in the parks?
Mm-hmm. Just pay the higher price so you can go to whatever park you want to then.
Exactly. Just buy, but I do like that to an extent because, like, I like that because we're only going to be in Magic Kingdom, I know for sure, one day where we're going to start in Magic Kingdom, right? Probably the first day. So we'll buy the Magic Kingdom one, which historically has been the most expensive Lightning Lane. Mm-hmm. And if we were wanting to park hop, we would have to buy that price for all the parks every day. And it gets annoying if you want to park hop with your Lightning Lanes, and you have to pay the highest price, and it's just kind of obnoxious. So this kind of works because, like, on our Hollywood Studios day, where it's probably maybe second, maybe third most expensive, we don't have to pay Magic Kingdom's price, but we could still go to Magic Kingdom that night if we wanted to.
Right.
So
okay.
But yeah,
good to know.
Because I had the same thought when I was looking at it. I was concerned because it didn't look like there's an option to buy for multiple parks. So I was glad that Quincy from All Ears cleared that up really, really early on. So And if you're not following them, you should follow them at All Ears on Instagram. Super helpful, but I assume they're going to have a video on YouTube shortly, really explaining everything.
Okay.
Because, it's the first day, so they're learning as much as we are right now.
Right.
Well, they're learning a lot more than I am.
They're learning a lot more. Yeah.
Because I'm in Colorado and I'm just watching their stuff.
Right.
Yes, so that's Lightning Lanes. You can purchase it 7 days in advance for the duration of your stay, up to 14 days out. So you can basically purchase if you're staying for 2 weeks for some reason, which I absolutely implore you to do.
Yes.
Well, so actually, technically, you can purchase your Lightning Lanes. That would make your last one, like the furthest out you can plan one is 21 days, right?
Yeah.
No, I did that math wrong.
I think you did the math wrong.
No, that's right. 14 and 7 is 21.
Oh, okay.
So 7 days before your first day, 14 days out from that first day. So anyway.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. I had to reiterate or not. What am I talking about? My brain's not functioning correctly today.
Oh my goodness.
Not one bit. But anyway, let's see. Is there anything else Lightning Lane Multipass related that we need to talk about? As far as I can gather so far, I need to watch a little bit more of their stuff. But from what I've gathered so far, like functionally, it's more or less the same as Genie Plus was. You're going into your app, you're booking your Lightning Lanes. The only difference that I can see, and it's like I said last week, again, I haven't checked, I guess, to make sure, and I probably should. But it seems to me that you are able to hold 3 Lightning Lanes at a time.
Yes.
Because you get your initial 3, and then you use the first one, and you can book another one. So now you have 2, 3, and 4. And then you use 2, and now you have 3, 4, and 5.
Right.
And you can just basically keep doing that until you run out.
But my understanding is also that there's like a higher tier, and you can only hold one higher tier at a time. You can't hold... So, like, you can't...
So, like, you could only hold Tiana's Bayou Adventure, but you couldn't hold Tiana's and Tron.
Correct.
Or Seven Dwarfs, we'll say.
Correct. Yeah, any of those 3. You can't
that
hold
makes sense.
all 3 of those. So you
could have Pirates and Haunted Mansion and Tiana's, maybe.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Or Big Thunder and Tiana, which is right there. And then Haunted Mansion, because that's where you're going to go, next.
Right. On the way. Yeah, it's on the way. Yeah, the only thing that I'm not sure about, and I'm looking kind of as we go, I ran out of time to really watch. They have so many videos up right now, like shorts, or not shorts, but like TikTok, oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Instagram Reels up right now.
Oh, okay.
Or stories. And there's so many of them, and I did not have time to go through all of them before I came down here to record. So there's still questions to be answered, but I don't want to give anything. Like, it's hard for me to be like an authority on it,
Right. Yeah. Same.
I am in Colorado by a lot. So it's like, I'm not even in the parks experiencing this right now. So all I can do is give you the information I get from them. So,
and I haven't been in the parks since in about a month. We went on June 27th. We took Aunt Lori.
Happy birthday to me.
Yes. Happy birthday. Because you didn't go. But Aunt Lori hadn't been since, are you ready for this? Oh gosh. She hadn't been since I think it was April of 2009.
That's way too long.
That is way too long to not go to Disney.
Wow.
Just saying. We got to take her on some new, I'm digressing, but we did get to take her on like Guardians. She loved Guardians, which duh.
Who doesn't?
Right?
I'm sure there's people listening that hate it, but it's fine.
And we had not, so she hadn't gone on Mission Space, obviously, since 2009. So, spoiler, the green ride on Mission Space has changed, and it is different than the orange ride. So it used to be the same thing, except for it didn't, sway back and forth and spin and all that. It sways. It doesn't spin. Correct.
Yeah.
And so now you kind of just circle the globe, and that's pretty much it. But so she was kind of bummed about that.
Still pretty cool.
She was kind of bummed about that, but we did get to do soaring across the world. Yeah, soaring across around the world, and she liked that and stuff. But and then of course we took her on the Skyliner, which she had never been on. She's like, "This is cool," except for
Did she like it?
Yes, but the first segment that we went on. Oh my gosh. So what you may or may not know about the Skyliner and the boats actually is if there's either foul weather or lightning, they will shut both of those down. So we waited in line and waited in line and waited in line, and the line just kept growing and growing, and now it's pouring down rain, and we're like, I mean, it's raining, but they can still do it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we're shutting down, and we have buses that you can go to and all this stuff. They're going to pick you up basically in a behind the scenes area, and we're like,
Oh.
And
From Epcot?
yeah, by the International Gateway. And we're like, ooh, I mean, you know me, I'm always up for a
Yeah.
backstage area, right?
So, okay.
And so we're like, okay, well, when are the buses? They're like, as soon as the buses get here, we're going to get you guys out. We're going to get you on the buses and over to wherever you're going, Hollywood Studios, your resort, whatever. Okay, great. And then they started getting signals that they were going to be opening the Skyliner again. I'm like,
Oh no.
let's just do it. I wanted to do
This is
if Grandma Jan and Aunt Lori hadn't been there, I probably would have been like, I'll take the bus.
right. I was
But-
gonna say this is a special kind of Disney person that when you hear the Skyliner is opening, so you don't get to ride the buses from the backstage areas, you go, "Oh,
Aw, darn.
yeah."
And
I would be disappointed.
So we did get to go on the Skyliner. And so from Epcot, the way it works is from Epcot, it goes to a turning station. And from the turning station, it goes to, I'm blanking.
The Riviera.
Yes, the Riviera. And then from there, it goes to the Caribbean Beach Resort. And from the Caribbean Beach Resort is the hub. And then once you get to the hub, that's where you can go to Hollywood Studios, or you could go to Art of Animation and Pop Century. And so we get to the Riviera and they stopped us. They made us get off.
Oh.
What? We're so close. Like the next stop, it's like we come in and they're like, are you continuing on to Caribbean Beach? And we're like, yes. And she said, it's 5 minutes away. And we're like, great. And then so they open the door. So if you're going to get off at Riviera, you can. And then the next one is for people who are boarding. And at the next one where people were boarding, they said, okay, you need to exit. Everybody needs to exit. And we're like, what?
Oh.
I'm like, so we had to get a wheelchair for Grandma Jan and everything. It was just, and
It's annoying.
And
And,
so-
then you had to take the bus from the Riviera.
and then we had to walk to the bus from the Riviera. We're like,
How lame. Give me the
darn.
backstage.
yeah,
That
exactly.
sucks.
Exactly. I would have liked to have seen the backstage. And
Yeah,
so
that's lame. Well,
yeah. And then we ended up taking the bus, obviously, to Hollywood Studios. And we had parked at Epcot. So we started at Epcot and then we took the bus. And then we got to take Aunt Lori on what did we go on? I think we went on
you go on
Rise of
Rise?
the Resistance and Smuggler's Run. I think that's all that we did there.
oh, I would have
don't-
done more, but
Well, so
I know what you're gonna say. Park her on a bench. Come back for her later.
yes. The only other thing that we would have done was Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, because Aunt Lori hadn't done that.
Okay.
The Rock and Roller Coaster was still closed. We couldn't do that.
Yeah, I know that
And-
just opened a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and Slinky Dog Dash was going to be a big,
Ugh.
long wait. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
85 minutes minimum.
right. And it's like Peter Pan. I don't understand why it's so long. It's not a
Right.
great ride. So guess what? Not in my top 5. Just FYI. Spoiler alert.
Fair enough.
And so she'd been on Toy Story Midway Mania. So the only other thing I really wanted to do was the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And when we were at Epcot, I really wanted to have done, I wish we could have done Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. That would have been, the perfect
yeah,
thing. And
that's a good one.
so, but we didn't actually, I don't think we went. I can't remember. I don't think we went to the back of I don't think we went like back to the America Pavilion or anything, because one of the things I had wanted to do, which I didn't get to do because I forgot about, was I wanted to do the Pick a Pearl thing at
Oh,
Japan Pavilion with
yeah.
my sister, and I didn't get to do that. So sorry,
Oh, that
sis. I
stinks.
guess we'll have to go again.
Oh, darn.
Oh, darn.
Shucks.
So, yeah. And so, yeah, then we, at the end, when we were leaving Hollywood Studios, we were able to get on the Skyliner and take it all the way back to Epcot. And
good.
then we had to get a wheelchair for Granny Jan. And then we were able to go up to the park and everything. And actually, I think she got a scooter now that I'm thinking about it. But then we were able to go back and of course we rode on Spaceship Earth and the Imagination,
Well, of course.
words.
Both of those are our obligations. So
Yes, I agree. And so we also did Moana Journey of Water. So that was really good. And of course, she was the one, when the video comes out, she was the one that was doing some recording for me on some stuff.
Yes.
So that was pretty cool too.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I'll let you briefly talk about the newborn babies at Animal Kingdom, and then we'll take a quick break so we can restart cameras, and then jump into our top fives.
Okay, so the two babies that were born recently are in I think it's called I'm gonna look it up because I don't want to pronounce it wrong. One is a zebra foal, and it's a little girl, and the other one is an eland calf. And an eland is one of those that kind of sort of looks like a reindeer. Those are my best descriptions. There's some other babies that were born. Something called an addax, which I guess also looks sort of like like a little, some sort of hoofed animal. And
Okay.
so, yeah, so it's a really good time to go for the little kids to see some babies and stuff. And I believe at Rafiki's Planet Watch, you can also see some of the baby animals out there too. That's all at Animal Kingdom. Yep.
Right on. Well, on that note, let's take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, we're back. We had some deliberations over the over the break that we won't share now, but maybe you'll see eventually. But let's see. I've been trying to decide how we're gonna go about this, and I think we're gonna try to do this quickly, I guess. Let's do categories. I think let's pick one food thing, like our favorite food thing.
Okay.
Favorite food place, our favorite ride. So 2, we can pick our favorite park, our favorite show,
Okay.
and our favorite resort that we've stayed at.
Okay. Are you writing all
And
this
maybe
down?
honorable mention will be number 1 wish list stay. I don't know if there's
All right.
if there is one. Oh,
Okay.
I don't know what I just did.
I don't either, but I hope that you wrote it all down because I don't remember what you just said.
I wrote it down in my brain. I wrote it down in my brain. Okay. We'll start off with number 1 food. So what's your favorite place to eat in Walt Disney World? Should we split this up? Do we need to do a quick service and table service and split them up?
Yes.
Okay. So what's your favorite quick service place to eat? And briefly, why?
Okay, so I have 2.
She's breaking the rules already, but it's okay because we just made them up 5 seconds ago. So it doesn't even matter.
There are no rules. So they're similar. That's why I like them. Oh, and then you're gonna have me do a. Then you're gonna have me do a sit down and
table service is easy for me.
Table service is not easy for me at all. So my quick service that I love to go to, I have 2. Well, technically, I guess.
Okay.
I like any place that has a burger. So
that describes like 90% of the quick service restaurants.
At Studios, I like the Backlot Express, which is kind of over by the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. I
forgot that existed.
At Epcot, I do like, for the quick service, I do like the Connections Eatery. I love how they've reimagined all that. There's a whole lot more seating than there ever was when it was Electric Umbrella. I do like Restaurantosaurus at Animal Kingdom, and I do like Cosmic Rays at Magic Kingdom. And so
Yeah.
I can't pick one of them.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't have a favorite child either.
So all the places. That's fair. So anywhere you can get a burger, that's fair. I think I'm tossed up between two. I'll be with you on the quick service thing. I have a toss up between two. The first one is Cosmic Rays, because I have fond memories of Cosmic Rays as a kid. I love watching Sunny Eclipse perform, which actually is going to be called back to in a little bit. I love entertainment whilst I'm eating. So Cosmic Rays is probably my number one. But a close second is the place that I can't remember the name of right this second. The barbecue place in Animal Kingdom.
Tremendous Barbecue. No.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No.
Is it Tremendous? Flame Tree Barbecue. Flame Tree Barbecue.
That's it. There we go.
Dad's favorite
I was like, you're close.
too.
Tree's in there somewhere. Yeah,
Tree.
Flame Tree Barbecue, because I am a fiend for some barbecue. I love me some barbecue.
Dad too.
That's
when we go to Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom to get it.
Yeah, when we go to Animal Kingdom, that's where we have to go.
Yeah,
which
I
makes
think
it
that's where
difficult when I
Adriana
want to be
to.
at Restaurantosaurus and Dad wants to go to Flame Tree.
But it shouldn't be, because y'all can mobile order now.
That's
so
true.
Dad can mobile order his Flame Tree Barbecue, and you can order your Restaurantosaurus, and y'all just meet in the middle and eat on a trash can.
Except for right now, because it's raining. So.
Well, sure, but bring an umbrella. That's fine.
I wear a poncho. I'm way cooler than that. I don't wear no umbrella.
Okay. But a poncho doesn't protect your food, though.
Oh, yes, it does.
I guess. Okay, sure. All right. Anyway, okay. Let's move on to our favorite table service. And this one for me is a little bit easier. And I do have a close second. I'm going to tell you I have a close second.
Okay. I'm going to guess yours.
You're probably right.
Your favorite is 50s. Your close second is Beer Garden.
You're actually backwards, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
My favorite is Beer Garden, and it's because of what I just said a second ago with Cosmic Rays. I like the entertainment. Yeah. I love the German folk music,
yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I love the vibes in there, and I'm also, I don't know what percentage of me is German, but it's enough that I feel at home when I go there.
Right.
But
it
then
is pouring outside right now, and I hope you can't hear it.
I can't. Well, I can't hear it over Microsoft Teams, but I guess we'll see what happens on the recording. It's fine. But yeah, 50s Primetime Cafe is a close second for me.
Same.
I love the environment. I love being told to take my elbows off the table, and it's a good time overall. And I love the little 50s TV show clips that you see on the TVs on your table, unless you're a family of more than 4 and you have to sit at the big long table, then you don't get a TV.
At the booth, and the TV is way off
in the back corner.
And you can kind of see it, but not really, and you can't hear it at all.
Yeah. And I will say they also have some of the best adult beverages.
Yeah.
I like the 50s Primetime adult beverages. I mean, beer gardens are good too, but that's mostly beer. I don't even know if they have cocktails.
I don't either. I don't think they do, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Your favorite table service.
My favorite table service is Beer Garden with 50s close behind. I'm trying to think of one of my, I would call it a splurge table service that I think we've only done once or twice. Actually, I'll digress here in a little bit, but I do like Le Cellier, which is the Canada Pavilion. That is an amazing steakhouse that they have there. We went, I will say most recently, I want to say it was back in the 2009, 10, 11s, somewhere in there. Or 6, 7, 8, 9s, somewhere in there. And that's when you could, basically you could get the dining plan for free, and then it included and it was the dining plan. It wasn't like the quick service dining plan or the other dining plan. It was one quick service, one table service, 2 snacks, and a reusable mug. And so, and gratuities were included, and they're not anymore. A lot has changed. But my other favorite just went right out the window. What was it? Beer Garden.
Garden Grill.
Garden Grill. That's it.
Garden Grill's up there for me
Yes.
too. That's why I made an absolute point to make sure we went there this time.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
it wasn't even open when we went for our honeymoon, so it wasn't even an option then. But
Oh, right, because of COVID.
yeah, it opened I think 3 months after our honeymoon, and I got really mad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think in Magic Kingdom I have one that's Crystal Palace. I do like Crystal Palace. Now, what some of those have in common is leftover from when you guys were kids.
Oh.
So I also like Play and Dine at Hollywood and Vine. But aside from 50s Primetime Cafe, what those other ones have in common is they're all you can eat. And when you have 8 kids, I'll say 6, 7 kids that you're taking, and you get the dining plan, you want to make sure that everybody gets their fill, and we are, filled up. We can power on. We don't have to spend much out of pocket outside of what the dining plan provides. And so that's one of the things I liked. Also, with the 3 little kids, and for those of you who don't know, the 3 little kids are Jordan, Caleb, and Lauren. We by me, that's me, enjoyed taking them to Crystal Palace, Play and Dine at Hollywood and Vine, and Garden Grill, because the characters come around and you can see them. And you don't have to wait in line. You don't have to, wonder if it's going to rain and now your character's going to go away or anything like that. And so that was an added bonus. You got to eat anyway. This way you get to also meet the characters. You get your photo right when they come to the table and that sort of thing. And so those were some of the hidden motives for me anyway in doing those particular table service meals.
Yeah. What's funny is I was thinking about it the whole time, and I don't think I've ever, unless you count, which I don't, because that was quick service. Never mind. I was going to say, unless you count Be Our Guest, I don't think I have ever eaten a quick table service meal at Magic Kingdom. Because I've never been to Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
And I think there's not very many table service restaurants in Magic Kingdom. Be Our Guest is one of those like hybrid ones where it's quick service, but like kind of.
Yeah.
So
the one that you've been to that's closest, I'll say there's 2. You've been to Tusker House and you've been to Chef Mickey, which is over at the Contemporary Hotel. And those are sort of Crystal Palace has Winnie the Pooh characters. And so that's really the only difference.
Excellent. So let's see. I said food. We did 2 segments of food now, so we need 3 more. Favorite ride. Not in each park. We got to pick one. We don't got time to dissect each park.
I can't pick just one. Like a ride that you could go on over and over and you really absolutely love it.
Yeah. And I would say a ride that you love and you would recommend to almost anyone. So for me, like Mission Space is going to be out because I love that ride. I could go on it twice. I don't think I could go on it more than twice, but I can't recommend it to everyone.
Yeah.
It's not something I would tell a lot of people to ride, to be honest.
Yeah.
At least the
your
orange
dad.
side. Maybe the green ride, I would be like, absolutely try it out. But
Yeah. Well, even your dad, your older sister, your younger brother, Grandma Jan, they can't go on it.
yeah, they can't do either one because they get motion sick.
Yep.
Oh, how sad. Oh my gosh. It's tragic. But anyway, so yeah, things like that. So yeah, your favorite that you could recommend to almost anyone.
Spaceship Earth.
Oh, see, that's a good one. Because that is one of my favorite rides in general at Walt Disney World. I love myself Spaceship Earth.
Yeah.
It's mainly because it's a good place to take a nap. No. Just the journey through communication is
I love
amazing and fun to just chill, How do you say
it's
that?
not nap worthy. It's not.
No, not that. That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say like inaccuracies, but it's
Yes.
it's okay.
Yeah.
That's I mean, believe what you will, but
yeah.
I myself don't believe that history started out that way.
Yes, exactly.
But, and I'll, I don't want to be ashamed of that. So it's, you got to.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I do like the adrenaline rides too. So I do like Tron, and I do like
Yes,
Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind, and Rock and Roller Coaster. I like all that stuff.
Well,
Rise
yeah.
of the Resistance. I love that drop. Ooh, spoiler.
Oh, see, I was gonna say Rise of the Resistance. That's the one I could go on over and over again, and I would recommend to just about anyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless
absolutely.
I had a friend who hated Star Wars, and I knew would really not like it because it's Star Wars, I wouldn't tell them to write it. But
Right.
even people who just are like, yeah, I know what Star Wars is, I'd be like, yeah, go check it out. It's a good time.
Yeah. Marcy and Lauren. They know what Star
Yeah.
Wars is, and
They're
they've
pretty
seen
indifferent on
some
Star
of the
Wars,
movies,
but-
but they're very indifferent. But they love
Yeah.
that ride too, I think.
It's a good ride when it's operating. Cool. So that's rides. Let's hit. Was that 4? That was only 3. Oh, crud. That was only our 3rd one. Okay, so favorite park. You got to pick one. I would assume it's Epcot, considering the last 4 times you've been, you've pretty much gone to Epcot for most of the day.
I feel like I only go to
gone somewhere else.
Epcot. I swear, I do. I feel like I'll only go to Epcot, which I don't think is a thing.
Right.
It shouldn't be a thing. But it is. It is my favorite park. It does have my favorite ride because I do love both Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind and Spaceship Earth and Journey into Imagination. And it's also got the festivals, which I really enjoy. And that's one of the things I hope to do when you and Adriana are out there is get to do Emile's fromage montage. Is Emile's fromage montage. And
I'm excited for that.
I feel like
Adriana's
that's going to be
really
super
excited
fun.
for that. Yeah. So that's good. My favorite park goes without saying. I've said it. Actually, it doesn't go without saying, but I've said it numerous times. It is Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
And it is because of Galaxy's Edge.
Yep.
I love Star Wars. And I would also say One Man's Dream probably plays into it a little bit too. I'm a big Walt Disney fan, big Star Wars fan. You get a lot of both of them in Hollywood Studios. So, and then Smuggler's Run. It's really fun to get to pilot the Millennium Falcon. But as much as they say you get to actually fly it, it is still pre-programmed to do certain things. So it's kind of, but it's also not a video game. It's a ride. So I get that they have to follow a storyline, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So that's park.
Okay.
We talked enough on that? I think was that too brief?
You said
No,
that's good. That's good.
And then I think we'll go. I said one more, and I can't remember what it was now. Oh, well, there was one in between resorts and favorite park.
Maybe characters. I can't remember.
No, it wasn't.
It had something to do with parks.
Food, ride, park. Shows. Oh, okay, yeah. Briefly hit the shows because I have, again, 2 that come immediately to mind when I think of a show I want to sit and watch. And actually, one of them isn't even showing right now, so it doesn't even matter. And it might not be ever again. I don't know. I don't know what the plans are. But number 1 is the American Adventure. I'm a big fan of the American Adventure, but that's an animatronic show. But that's okay. I love it. It's still fun.
I look at that as an attraction, not a show.
But it's a show. They're just really, really, really dedicated actors.
Show up
the other
every
one
day,
for me,
nonstop.
Yeah, the other one that I was gonna say is the Journey of the Little Mermaid. Is that what it used to be called? Voyage of the Little Mermaid.
It was.
Was it Voyage of the Little Mermaid?
It was Voyage of the Little Mermaid. Yeah.
Okay, I really loved that, and I think it was mainly because of the puppets, the fish puppets, and the blacklight. It looked so cool.
Well, Finding Nemo was like that as well.
Oh, I forgot about. Oh my gosh!
And now
sorry.
it's Big Blue World.
Erase everything I've just said. Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond is my favorite stage show at Walt Disney World. Yes. I can't believe I forgot about that. That's embarrassing.
No,
I love that show.
See, those are shows. I wasn't even thinking that because there's a whole nother category that we're not thinking about because I like any of those.
You're thinking of like fireworks shows.
Exactly.
Closing time shows,
I like
parades.
Festival of the Lion King. I like Beyond the Big Blue. I like the American Adventure.
Yeah.
I like all of that. My favorite nighttime shows.
See, I think that's
There's
why I
top
went with
5.
like stage
we can't
shows.
do a top 5.
That's why I didn't. I think that's why I was thinking shows and not like fireworks because if you're in Epcot, you're gonna watch the Epcot ones.
Oh my gosh!
What is it now?
It's Luminous, the Symphony of Us.
Yes.
That's not my favorite.
That's okay.
Fantasmic.
Fantasmic is amazing. I love Fantasmic.
And Happily Ever After. at Magic Kingdom.
Which you guys may or may not have heard, but you hear it every time I do this podcast.
Yes.
Because it's the tagline. The second part of the first verse is the tagline of this podcast.
Absolutely.
But anyway,
we
so
might
that's a
have
good
to
point.
we might have to record that.
That'd be kind of fun.
That would be very fun. But those are my favorite nighttime shows. But I like all the stage shows because they are so professional, and they are. I mean, because are you going to put Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular in there too? Because heck yes, I really love that. That's actually my all-time favorite, and Fantasmic is my nighttime favorite all time. I could watch those forever. Part of that is because before COVID.
Back in the day, they used to choose audience members to participate in as like extras, and so they'd have you go back and you'd get like some sort of costume that just put on, and it was like a robe, and you put on Velcro and all that, and then and a little hat, and then you would be part of the background crew with Indy and whatever her name is. My instant thought was Mary Jane, and
it's
I'm like,
Marianne.
I think it's Marianne. I think Mary Jane is Spider-Man.
Mary Jane is Spider-Man.
I think it's Marianne. I don't know. We didn't get to watch the whole thing when we went because the rain started and they couldn't use
It's Marion.
So. Marion. Just take the space out. Madam Librarian.
Oh my
Deep
goodness.
cut for some of you nerds out there like me.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, so that covers the shows. Now we can talk about resorts, but not before I start rolling my camera again. Okay, so that was 4. Final one, and then we're going to do our honorable mention one. So number 5 is your favorite resort that you have stayed at.
I can't even choose. I can't even choose. On Walt Disney World property is my favorite resort because I've
Valid.
stayed and I have likes and dislikes. I'll do these 3. They're similar. I've stayed at Saratoga Springs, Old Key West Resort, and Disney's Fort Wilderness campgrounds and cabins, and Port Orleans Riverside.
Port Orleans Riverside?
Yes, I have.
When did you do that?
I have. In 2008 for my 18th wedding anniversary.
Wow. Okay.
And
that's cool. I didn't know that.
That's where we stayed when we became Disney Vacation Club members.
Ah, okay.
Anywho, the thing that I don't like about all 4 of those is that they all, not only do they have a bus system to get to the parks and Disney Springs and the water parks, they also have an internal bus system, and all of those do. And I don't like that because if you're not at Paddock, I think it's Paddock was one of those, and there's numbers in between. At Port Orleans Riverside.
Oh, that's also one of the stops at Saratoga.
Is it okay? So, and I might get those confused. I'm not sure, but if you're not in that first one, going to the front, you're not going to find a spot. If you're in the last one, you're not going to find a spot. And so I don't like that, especially for some of our family members who are younger or using a scooter. And so now you can't go, or how do you get up to the front, right? So I don't like that aspect of it. So there are, within those moderate resorts, there's a little bit of sacrifice to stay there, because you might not have to struggle with the buses getting from the parks, but you might have to struggle with the buses getting to the parks. And so I'm not a fan of that.
I will say that I think that is one of the areas where Fort Wilderness Campground actually shines a little bit, is because their internal bus loop is an internal bus loop. It takes you from the front to the back and from the back to the front. So you do have an opportunity to get on a bus, but that bus doesn't take you to the park. That just takes you to the main bus stop at the front of the resort, where you then get on the bus to go to the park. So that in my opinion, Fort Wilderness is doing it right.
Yes.
Like if you're going to do it that way, that's how it should be done.
Yes. And so little known fact about Fort Wilderness Resort: when it is raining, we mentioned before, when it's raining or thundering and lightning, they do not run the buses or the boats. And the only way to get from Fort Wilderness to the Magic Kingdom is by boat. If it's raining, they still do not send a bus to the Disney Fort Wilderness campground.
Right.
They send you by bus from the back, and I can't remember what the settlement, I think is what it's called. They have a bus that goes from the
settlement and the outpost
over to the Wilderness Lodge, and there you can get a bus to the Magic Kingdom. So,
which is wild. But it's also a shorter ride from
it is
from the Wilderness Lodge to the Magic Kingdom, but you still have to ride there, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I would say my favorite resort, though, to be completely, so I do like the moderate resorts for various reasons, but I don't like them for the bus reasons, like we said. But I think my favorite resort is honestly Pop Century.
Yeah,
especially since they now have the Skyliner right there.
Yeah. Yeah, you get, in my opinion, with the Skyliner, you get deluxe resort level transportation options at a value resort price. And, well, a little bit above value resort price, but they're a little more expensive than the All-Stars. But that's where we're staying, is at Pop Century. It's my go-to, unless, I mean, when we went for our honeymoon, I wanted to stay somewhere really nice because it was my honeymoon, of course.
Right.
But pretty much any time after that. I think next time we go to Disney World, we might shoot for Art of Animation, which is, the same thing, just on the other side of the pond. But just because I think it would be cool to get to stay in one of those. But I think my all-time favorite one we stayed at is Saratoga Springs, and I don't know exactly why, other than for some reason it's the one that stuck the most in my memory as a kid that we stayed at. That wasn't Pop Century or the All-Stars. So big fan of Saratoga Springs. And I also really like the proximity to Disney Springs, where like we took the bus once, then we took the catamaran once, or whatever it's called.
It's just
the boat.
It's just a boat, a pontoon boat.
The Sasagula River boat, or whatever they call them.
Yep.
Learned that. I messed that up in trivia a couple weeks ago. But so we rode the boat there and back once. We rode a bus once, which was stupid. The bus was annoying because, especially once you've walked from the AMC back to your room at Saratoga Springs, you're like, that bus is stupid, because the bus took 5 times longer to get to the front of the park of the Disney Springs as it did just walking. And that was a big thing for me. I liked being able to walk.
Yeah.
That's one thing I don't like about staying at Pop Century is you can't walk anywhere except for the Skyliner or the bus stop. Like, nothing else is within walking distance.
Oh, yeah.
And that's actually why, and I'm not like a huge walker. I don't love to walk, but I like having it as an option if I just want to hold hands with my wife and just walk and just be with each other. Like, that's a good option to have, which is actually why I slide swiftly into our honorable mentions, which is our top wish list resort. And for me, that is the Contemporary, for so many reasons. Proximity to Magic Kingdom, being able to literally walk out of the front of the hotel and be in Magic Kingdom in less than 10 minutes. Amazing.
Yes.
Want to do that. The monorail going through sounds like it would be a really fun time, just being able to hop on the monorail, head over to the TTC, hop on another monorail to go to Epcot. That'd be pretty fun. I think one of the biggest reasons I want to stay there is being able to, like, obviously if I'm staying at this wishlist resort, I'm staying in a room with a park view. I would love to just wake up in the morning and open the curtains and there's the castle, Yeah. So
yeah,
that is my number one wish list resort.
Oh, I think mine is probably either Boardwalk or the Polynesian.
Boardwalk.
For the same reason. Now, Dad doesn't necessarily walk, but I like the availability of being able to walk. You know, you can go
Right.
downstairs. You can go over. I mean, you literally, and we've done this before. We weren't staying at the resort, but you can literally walk from Hollywood Studios over to Epcot and vice versa.
Yeah.
You can walk to those different resorts. You can have lunch at those resorts, which we have. And there's more going. There's more going on, more accessibility, those sorts of things. And I really like that. I like the idea that even over at the Yacht and Beach Club, you could potentially, you know, have your kids playing in the pool, and then when you're done, you can get on one of those. I can't remember what those little bikes are called, but it's like
I just heard it earlier today.
what
and
is
I
it
can't
called?
remember what it is.
But it's a 4-person bike, and then you can get one where it's got like the kids can ride in the front. It's got like a little seat. It's not a bike, but it's like a car kind of thing, but it pedals and all that.
I think it is called bike though. Whatever it is, it's like.
Is it okay?
Bike.
Well, that has always been like something I wanted to do. Obviously, with at the time taking anywhere from 6 or 7 kids with us, and then me and Dad and Grandma Jan, that wasn't necessarily something that we could have to rent 2 just to go anywhere, right? And so that didn't necessarily make any sense. But that is definitely something that's kind of on my wish list is that. And I think one of my wish list rooms would definitely be a Boardwalk Grand Villa.
Oh, that'd be really, really nice, honestly.
Yeah. With like a park view of, I don't care which park. Probably Epcot, if there's such a thing, because you can still see some of Luminous, the Symphony of Us going on, and I think that would be kind of cool. So, yeah.
Well, there you go. I don't think we got anything else to cover here.
Okay.
And I appear to have been recording the whole time, so that's good.
That's great.
Cool. So yeah, we actually talked about this during the break, but I'm gonna bring it up now again because you guys didn't hear us during the break. And that is that this is actually there's gonna be a whole month, actually 2 months, between this episode with Mom and the next episode with Mom, because we will be taking our season break halfway through August, so that will get us our trivia for next week, and that will get us a DCOM rewatch with Marcy, and then we will be taking a break for a whole month. So that will skip the second random podcast, or the random podcast of the month that me and Adriana do on the third Friday, and that will also skip the Disney Correspondent Special
Yes.
episode.
But we'll have lots to talk about.
We'll be back.
We'll have lots to talk about after.
The episode in September that we do will be after Adriana and I have gone for our vacation. So we'll have lots of fresh things to talk about, probably a couple weeks worth of podcasts, honestly. But yeah, and then we'll also be skipping trivia and the DCOM in September. So that one will pick up with the Misfit podcast in September, which will probably end up being D23 related, if I had to guess, because I think D23, the Ultimate Disney Fan Experience, will happen during the break. And that's actually like poetic, because that's exactly what the first episode was me and Caleb reacting to the news that we got at D23 Destination D23 Expo last year.
Yes.
But yeah. So with that being said, guys, me and Adriana will see you next week for some Disney trivia. I think we are going to be trying out some all ears net trivia. So we'll see how that goes. But until then, guys, let the wonder take hold.